Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about the newest ship into the game, the Enterprise NX-01, Archer's Enterprise. This is a ship that I've been wanting to get. I was really hoping that maybe they would put a skin that we could put on one of our other Enterprises, but they made it into a specialty ship, and I'm not really happy when they do that. But they did, and this was a ship that I wanted. I was a big fan of Enterprise. I think it's like my third favorite series in the Star Trek series. But I've been wanting the Archer's Enterprise for a long time. I'm glad they finally did this arc, and we have it in the game now. Until further notice, this is probably just going to be a one-trick pony for these hostiles that you're going to hit using this ship. But let's talk about the ship first. As you can see, I got mine up to tier 4. What I did is I bought the unlock on day 1, and I bought the day 1 upgrade pack, because usually the day 1 upgrade pack is going to have more stuff than the rest of it. With the day 1 upgrade pack, I was able to take it maybe like tier 2.5. I think I had needed like 2 upgrades to go to tier 3, which I did take it, have it at tier 3 towards the end of the event. On my server, I won the event the first week, and I won it last week. And I did it using these crews. See, when I had it, you had to get it to tier 4 to be able to get the 3rd slot on lower deck. So I'm going to show you what I did the first week to win the event. I used the E Enterprise crew. I use E Picard, E Riker, and E Data, Grush, and Tendi. I didn't go for any critical. I tried going lower deck. And putting Hugh in her place, but I saw that I hit more hostiles using Tendi instead of Hugh. If you don't have the critical floor prime, or you don't have it high tiered inside the XBorg tree, then this is a crew that you want to use, because it uses no criticals. I mean, not this one, but the one with Tendi. This is the crew you want to use if you don't have those primes and you haven't done the research in the XBorg tree. This is the crew that you want to use. And if I was going to add another slot, maybe even, let's see what Mariner does. I'd probably go with this as a deal if I didn't have the critical floor research done or the prime. This is what I would do with right here. But the crew I used once I got it to tier 4, and I did it right away. I've been saving my upgrades for the event, and I think I might have had to do one run in that system before I got enough of an upgrade to go to 4. At 4, I completely changed. And this is the crew I'll use going forward. Tucker, Archer, and one that during the arc that I didn't think was very valuable, then I wish I would have tiered her up higher. I used E Bev in that slot. And then I used where did he go? Oh, I don't got lower deck. Then I used Hugh, E. Troy. That one won it for me for week 2. And it was highly contested in week 2. My last run got me over the top. I won the first week going away. The second place guy, I had a big gap between me and second, but it came down to my last run to beat the guy that I beat that was in second on my server. So this is a good crew. If you got the critical floor, Prime, and you got your XBorg research done, I'll show you. Let's go into the XBorg tree real quick. Okay, here in the XBorg tree, these are the ones you want to focus on to help the enterprise. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I'm not going to say only do this, but to compete and be the best you can at this event. As you can see, I've got my loot almost maxed. Is it almost maxed out? Does it go to 12 or is it 10? Let's see. Yeah, I got level 9 of 12 on the loot. And you also want to do the repairs. Those are the main ones for this ship. As you can see that I got that one at level 8 right now. And you can see I only got the warp to level 4. That's not a big factor right now because my ship can go way farther than where I need to effectively grind in these systems. So these are the 3 that you really want to work. The main 2 are these 2, the loot, so you can get the most loot possible. And this repair says when fighting Xindi aquatics, it heals a % of the hull when the hull is below 40%. So once you get under 40%, every time you do it, it helps heal it a little bit. So that really comes in key. Another thing is when I got into the system, as you saw, if you saw Reb's feed on it, where he went for the battleships right away and did it like 9 times before he got killed one, I had a lot better results than he did. But I didn't even try for mine until I had about a third of the hull left. And if you're successful hitting the battleships, it does probably a little bit more than double of the damage that the interceptors do. So I would pop a few interceptors and see how much damage it does and gauge. Know that you're going to need at least more than two times of what the damage on your hull when you try those battleships, or you'll just die from hull damage on the battleships. It won't even be the big gun that sends you home. What Scopely has said that you have a 70% chance of success trying to hit those battleships and a 30% chance to go home. I think I probably took out 16 of those battleships and only got sent home twice the whole time from that. But I don't know if those results are going to hold up. But either I got very lucky or it just worked out for me. Just put it that way. My strategy was I didn't even try for the battleships until I got to like a third of a hull left. Then if I got sent home, then I had all the loot from before. But the loot that you get there is more than double of what you get from the interceptors. So I would at least try it once every run. I think the most that I ever got was 3 times, and I didn't try the 4th time to see if I could get the 4th one. When you upgrade the ship, my first one at tier 4, you can see I went right for the polarized hull plating. I think that's the most important upgrade of any of these. And the one thing that they did keep canon with the series, Archer's Enterprise does not have shields. So it's important. This is probably the most important upgrade of any of the upgrades here. Of course, the guns being more powerful is going to help you too, but this is going to help you last longer in the battle. And I think you should always do those first. And what I would do is, like I said, warp isn't a big factor. Impulse speed's not a big factor. And the cargo bay isn't a big factor. So when I upgrade this, so you notice I got a cargo I can do here. I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to wait for the next upgrade I get, and I'm going to do one of these guns. I'm going to do all my guns, and I'll do the cargo bay, the impulse speed, and the warp last, because these are going to help the ship the most. It's just the opposite. What I usually do on like my faction ships, I will go, if it's got armor, I'll do the armor or hull plating here. I'll do that first on all my ships. Then usually I go warp. I go warp or shields if it's got shields. Those are the three main ones on my faction ships that I do first. But this is going to be kind of a different deal because, like I said, I'm not worried about this going fast, and I've got plenty of warp range. So I'm not going to be focusing on those as ones to do early on. I'm going to be definitely doing the hull plating first every time, and then I'm going to start working on the guns, and I'll do those last. That's my suggestion on this ship. And if you don't know where you need to go, you need to go into the new system, the new Xindi system that they put in here. And unfortunately, they put these aquatics behind a token. You got to earn a token by redeeming this scrap every day, and you get a token. And if you got the skin, you can get an extra one every day. But the skin costs $100, or you can upgrade it in this refinery too. But I think it'll take you a while to do it that way. But anyway, you want to use a token. Scopely didn't give me a bunch of tokens so I can sit there and demonstrate this for you. And we got another event this week, so I'm not wasting tokens. But you go in here, and you'll see an interceptor. You'll see a battleship. And the ones you want to focus on is the interceptors. And like I said, you can try your luck at a battleship, but I would make sure that I've got some interceptors already taken, because it doesn't really matter. It's a luck of the draw, and like I said, they do about twice the damage as the interceptors if you're successful. If you're not, it'll send you straight home, and that's the end of it. This loot's not so bad. Like I said, I've already got mine up to tier 4, and I only paid for one upgrade on here. It's not hard. To me, it's a lot like the Voyager loop, and it didn't take me very long to tier out my Voyager by just working the loop. And I'll do the same thing with this Enterprise. And I'll be curious to see when I get it higher, if it'll be more useful for other things. But right now, I would say until I can tier this up a little bit further to see if there's any more usefulness with it besides this loop. For right now, I'm just going to call the Archer's Enterprise a one-trick pony for this. And it's not a bad deal because of all the great new researches that came with this ship added to the XBorg. I mean, there's some really good researches. Kinetic storm, which is gives you bonus on your kinetic weapons, your energy weapons here. Here's warp upgrade for all your ships. If you're scrapping, here's something that I'm done with scrapping, so this doesn't really help me, but it'll help a lot of you guys. And it's opportunity chip. It gives you an extra chance to get some of these the bonus chips that are in the deal, where you can get more of this loot. You can see there's some for your mats. The one that I really hit hard, besides Archer's Enterprise stuff, is the ones for the materials construction. You can see I've got the parasteel, the titanium, and the dilithium for my buildings to tier 4, and the one for the mats to tier 3. These are going to be important for me to get higher. Then there are ones that were in here before that help your ship, like the mending does the same thing as that one that on Archer's Enterprise. There's one for PvP, and there's one for hostiles in here too. I think this merger protocol might be that. Yeah. So there's one for both, and there's just a lot of good stuff in here. Here's the critical floor damage. You can see I got mine almost maxed out, but you can see it takes a lot to get that last deal. So you see that I haven't hit the last one, but I've got the prime, so I can use critical when hitting these hostiles now, where I couldn't before. Well, I hope this helps you out some. Like I said, those crews really help for me. For right now, this is the crew that I'm going to be using. Of course, when I get to level 30, this will change some. I'll add another officer down here. I'll play around with that and figure out which one's the best one to add. But basically what I got here is I got Grush to fill the stats. These officers to give me criticals for the hostiles. And I got pretty much it's all critical, because Beb is critical. Archer is critical. Whoops, wrong one. And Tucker is critical too. So I'm going to complete critical build for these hostiles, and it worked great for me. So until next time.